There are streets in this world that don't follow the rules of anywhere else you've ever been. Get ready to get your narrow western view shattered, because in this episode we will go to the famous Bangla Road in Patong Beach. And we will talk, is it legal to take the waitress home and how much does it cost? Then we're gonna go to Soi Cowboy in Bangkok, where you'll learn more about the stigma around ladyboys. And I got most of it on camera. Most of it. That was just insane. I left Coffee Fee the same way I arrived, on a boat. Except this time I knew where I was going, and I wasn't lost. That's growth. Arriving at Rasada Pier, back on the mainland, into a van heading to Patong. Patong Beach is two completely different places depending on what time you show up. During the day, a beach town, restaurants, shops, tourists drying off after the water. Normal. Alright, made it to Patong Beach. However, I saw not only, so I went to Bangla Road, right? But I saw not only like people with their girlfriends, I saw like parents with their children, which is weird. Because it's all like prostitutes and weed on the sides, right? It's a very weird place to bring your kids. Oh, another funny thing I saw, I mean it's funny for me because I'm not that old, just like old farts, like 65 plus. The whole bar, like all the bartender girls were like cheering him. I'm like, maybe he bought a shot for everybody. But I'm like, wow, the guy has never seen that much attention, nor he's ever gonna see that much attention in his life, which, hey, to each their own, that's what he came here for, I get it, but it just looked funny to me. And if you don't understand why I am shocked by parents bringing their children to Bangla Road, that means you have no idea what goes down on that famous popular street. Here's some context. Bangla Road is Patong's famous nightlife strip. It is about 400 meters or 1200 feet long street. Neon lights, music from every direction, bars stacked on top of bars, street food, street performers, and $6 drinks. Also, a lot of young women who will do everything in their power to get your attention and your money. All of it completely legal. Which is why I was genuinely surprised to see parents walking through here with their children. Please don't do that. I call this place the retired white old man's dream. And I understand why. You walk in, girls will talk to you, catcall you, grab you. Not only by the arm, by the way, protect your private parts. They are grabby, very grabby. Here is how the economy actually works here. You sit down at the bar, girls come to you one by one, or you can ask for whoever you like. You buy her what's called a lady drink, usually a small overpriced cocktail, and she sits with you. You talk, you play games, she basically keeps you company. There's different games like Connect 4 or Jenga, and usually they play for drinks. Keep in mind, they are extremely good at those games. Everything is designed very cleverly to keep you spending money. If you like a girl and want to take her out of the bar, you pay what's called a bar fine. Anywhere from 1,000 to 3,000 baht at the time of this recording. And you pay that directly to the establishment. That compensates the bar for losing an employee for the evening. The shift manager, called the mama-san, handles the arrangement. After that, you negotiate directly with the girl for her price. And before you judge, I've been on enough Tinder dates to know that in the Western cultures we do something very similar. We just don't negotiate on the price this openly. We don't call it a bar fine, we call it a bar bill. And we don't negotiate the price for the evening, we just pay for dinner and hope for the best. I can't wait to read your angry comments. You like it or not, this is considered a normal work here, just like being a waitress or a bartender. And I understand, coming from the West, there is a societal stigma. I'm not here to defend the industry, nor I'm here condemning it either. It's just how things are in a different country, in a different culture. You can come and see for yourself, or you can choose not to. Just please, don't bring your kids. There are also strip clubs, not that anything here really requires one, and the famous ping pong show, which I cannot show on camera, and yes, it is exactly what you think. But what about the ladyboys? Wouldn't you like to know? I'll explain more about the ladyboys and the ladyboy bars once we get into Bangkok. And also, if my wife is watching this video, I want to tell you that I've done all of this research purely online. The next day I headed to the airport to catch my flight to Bangkok, landing in Don Mueang International Airport, taking my Grab. Yes, in Asia most of the time you will be taking a Grab, not an Uber. I went to the hotel to drop off my luggage and... So a friend of mine told me about this place that has been simmering the same bucket of soup for 50 years. I'm gonna go check it out now. The way to move in Bangkok is either via BTS, which is the Bangkok transit system, or via a motorcycle. I choose the latter. It's more authentic. Alright, I found the place pretty far with a motorcycle, as you can tell. Looks like a hole in the wall. That in front I'm going to show in a second is the pot of stew that has been simmering for so many years. And that's the menu. You pause it and check it out. I don't know what the prices are, but I'll find out soon. The place is called Wattana Panich, or Panich, I'm not sure. It is a family-run shop in the Ekamai neighborhood that uses a perpetual stew method, continuously simmering a giant cauldron of Chinese herb beef broth that has been kept alive for over 50 years. I mean, just the story behind it, you have to go. And I don't remember what the price was, but it was very, very cheap. What to order? Well, the signature beef noodle soup. They also serve a highly rated herbal goat stew. How do they do it? The soup is never completely emptied. At the end of every night, the remaining broth is strained, safely preserved, and used as the base for the next day's pot, continuously adding new meat and spices to deepen the flavor over generations. Good. Well fed and happy, I headed to my next location. Alright, why is this the best way to travel in Bangkok? Well, the city is super busy. Traffic is all the time, as you can tell, and with a motorcycle you can weave through the cars and pretty much arrive twice as fast as if you're with a car. This 15-minute ride would have been maybe 40-minute ride. So I'm gonna list here how many million people live in here and how much is the area, and here is how many people actually per square meter or per square foot. It's very populated. The traffic is non-stop. So bike is your best option, although get a life insurance first. Heading to the local mall, I stumbled upon something interesting. So the Starbucks here is something I've never seen before. It's Starbucks Reserve. I don't know what that means, but they have some items in the menu that I've never seen before. Let me show you. Starbucks Reserve is the most premium and immersive expression of Starbucks. These flagship locations around the world showcase rare, small lot coffees and offer experiences you won't find in a typical Starbucks coffee house. Also, very expensive. That's $20. All of a sudden, paying a girl for a bar fine seems reasonable. After Starbucks, I headed to a rooftop bar and I passed through one of the Bangkok's street markets, where you can buy absolutely everything you need for the evening. Cigarettes, condom, lube, and if you know who to ask, apparently doxycycline. Just ask. Also, Louis Vuitton, 20 bucks. Yeah, your friend Becky is not that rich. She never was. And then I found myself on Soi Cowboy, which is one of the 3 major red light districts in Bangkok. Similar to Bangla Road, Soi Cowboy or Cowboy Alley got its name from an African-American retired military man named TJ Cowboy Edwards, who opened a cowboy go-go club in the 1970s. Edwards was tall and always wore a cowboy hat, hence Cowboy Street. Which brings me to something I have to address. Have you even really been to Bangkok if you haven't encountered a Leydiboy? The answer is no, you have not. Leydiboys, known locally as katoi, are a completely visible, celebrated part of Thai culture. And Bangkok is one of the most open and accepting cities in the world. Here's the part that surprises most Western visitors. The acceptance isn't a modern thing, it goes back centuries. Buddhism, which shapes almost everything in Thai culture, views gender fluidity as a karmic result of past lives. Not a disorder, not a choice, just a soul's journey across multiple lifetimes. Which means Thailand arrived at acceptance through a completely different door than the rest of the world is still arguing about. You'll find Katoi working everywhere: retail, media, hospitality, nightlife, and corporate positions. They are not hidden. They are not a novelty. They're just part of life here. Now, a very important public service announcement for the male travelers watching this. If they look too good, it might be a Leydiboy. Can you guess who is the Leydiboy? Yeah, I know. Both of them. Don't worry, that doesn't make you gay.
I want to be a woman, but I'm not a woman. I will never cut it off. It's like a God gift.
From what I've heard, Ladyboys generally are very upfront of who and what they are. Because in the nightlife scene, time is money. And they don't want to waste their time and not make money by you discovering that they're a Ladyboy 30 minutes into the conversation. Alright, after my very educational evening on Soi Cowboy, I headed to what Bangkok is genuinely famous for: the rooftop bars. Have you really been to Bangkok if you haven't been to a rooftop bar? The answer is also no, you have not been to Bangkok. Bangkok has one of the most dramatic skylines in Southeast Asia. The city has been on a building boom for decades, hundreds of high-rises punching through the haze. And where there are high-rises, there are rooftop bars. Bangkok has more rooftop bars per square kilometer than almost any city on earth. Over 38 million tourists visit Bangkok every year. Almost all of them end up somewhere high, looking down at the same skyline at some point. Now, I didn't really have a plan. I walked into a random skyscraper and found out that there wasn't actually a private party. So naturally, I went in, smiled at the right person, and they let me in. Some of the best moments in travel aren't on any itinerary. They're on a rooftop of a building that you walk into by accident. The next morning, I headed back to the mall. It is whatever food you want. Asian, European, Western, Arab, it's crazy. It's so much. It is so much. Oh, here's my favorite. Fried squid on a stick. In this mall, you can bring any meat you want and a chef will cook it for you. When I clocked out of my job for the last time in July of 2022, I've been dreaming about going to downtown Jacksonville, Florida and ordering a tomahawk steak, which at the time was $150. I talked myself out of it. Too expensive, too indulgent. Should I really spend that? I never did. But here we are a few years later, halfway across the world. I finally ordered the tomahawk steak. So this whole pleasure would bring you back. So this is the tomahawk steak. This is a cooking fee 100. This is a salad and wine. Total is 26.50 baht, which is $76. It's way too much for one person, so they wrapped it up the remainder. I ate half, okay? I ate half. If you order tomahawk, make sure you're 2 people. Alright, next we are heading to a cooking class, but first I'm gonna find somebody to give this. It's half of the tomahawk steak. There's quite a few homeless here, and at least nighttime in Bangkok. I cannot eat it. It's not going to be good later anyways. I'm not going to bring it to the hotel room, so at least somebody's going to use it, right? But I'm excited to go and actually do the cooking class. It's traditional Thai food as usual. Let's see how it's going to go. All right, we are almost at the place. There you go, House of Taste. Cooking class, which in Bangkok means standing over a wok in 35 degrees heat, learning how to make dishes that takes a Thai grandmother's 30 seconds and me 20 minutes. We made tom kha kai, which is amazing, and honestly, if you haven't tried tom yum or tom kha kai, I feel bad for you. Then we made pad thai, which was way easier than I thought. Just look how fast I did it. Yeah, it was pretty tasty. And for dessert, of course, mango sticky rice. This is supposed to be a roast, but let me know how I did in the comments. Overall, I do a cooking class in every country I go, and I really enjoy it. The mango rice was excellent. After the class, I was getting ready to go to a cruise when this happened. So, I just got the most thrilling ride of my life in a motorbike. The guy still maybe behind me. There you go, that's my rider. That was just insane. Through Bangkok, through a traffic in Bangkok, I don't know if my hair can show it. So here's the deal. At some point, so we're moving through traffic as usual, but at some point, there's just like a guy who's like in the opposite direction. No problem, like, no worries. We ran 2 stop signs. We weaved through one pedestrian crosswalk while the pedestrians were walking. We just weaved through it while we were in the opposite direction. I'm like, what the? I really wish I had a camera to record all that, because it is. You wouldn't believe me, but maybe tomorrow I'm gonna go again, and I'm gonna record it. It's just insane. It's insane. I think that was scarier than jumping out of an airplane. That was just. I really wish I had a camera to record it. So I finally bought durian, which is forbidden to bring in a hotel because it stinks a lot. It's a pretty good actually. It's like a creamy, sweet, not overpowering sweet taste. But yeah, this was 220 baht. 220, yeah, baht. I know. I boarded a cruise. It's because I wanted to experience Bangkok the way many retired European grandmothers do. My mom hates me when I make that joke because she's a retired grandma from Europe that regularly goes on cruises. Love you, Mom. From the water, you see Bangkok differently. The temples rise from the riverbank. You pass Wat Arun Ratchavararam, yeah, say that 3 times, one of the Bangkok's most iconic temples, built on the west bank of the Khao Phraya River. The spires decorated with millions of pieces of Chinese porcelain. Then Wat Pra Chontup. I am not saying that either, I'm sorry. It is a Buddhist temple that looks extraordinary. We turned around at the Rama 8 bridge and everything was perfect. They even had a cool program with traditional costumes and traditional dance. Here's a few fun facts before you fall asleep without liking this video. Do you know the real name of Bangkok? Well, locals call it Kruk Tep Maha Nakhon for short. But the real name is Kruk Tep Maha. I'm just kidding, I'm not saying all of that. It's true, you can fact check me. Anyways, this name actually means City of Angels. And also, the year in Thailand is not 2026, but it is 2569. This is because their calendar follows the Buddhist era. Thailand gave me everything I asked for. A beach I dreamed about for 20 years that we saw in the last episode. A soup that's older than most marriages. A steak I owed myself since 2022. And a motorbike ride that in retrospect should have been a warning. So pack light, book that flight, and maybe, just maybe, hold on to the seat of the motorbike. Join me in the next episode where I end up in hospital, which to be fair, was not in the original plan. Pretty happy I'm alive to be honest, because I flew over a big hole. Especially when you ride a motorcycle with 70 kilometers an hour and you find out you can fly, but you need to work on your landing. Spoiler alert, I survived, but barely. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.